Satan is a motherfucker. Sure is. But the show must go on. Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barak Yahweh, Bashem Mahoshai, Bashem Rakakudash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Addressing the Comment Board. There was a comment that was left on one of the videos that I did, and there was a sister that asked a question, and I'm trying to see if I can find her. Here we go. Actually, the video I did earlier called A Few Thoughts. Now, I'm going to try to read this the best I can. You know, this is offline. I just took a snapshot of it. This is really like a desktop, question to answer on the desktop. So, Lord's will I could probably go a little more in depth with it because I wasn't able to look into it like I wanted to because, I'm on the road and Satan is on his A game, you know what I mean? But anyway, be it as it may, the sister's name is Yaisa Israel. This is on the video, A Few Thoughts, and she says, Shalom, King, would you please do a lesson on being a martyr? While I was fasting, I was given a very lucid dream that explained that I am going to die in this truth. In the dream, Salakia. In the dream I died. It wasn't clear how, but then my spirit started going up. As my spirit ascended, there was a voice that told me twice that I'm not really dead. This has been somewhat heavy on me. Please give me edification. I couldn't really read it that great because, like I said, and then, you had an individual, I don't know if he's a part of Great Millstone or just one of them guys that just jumps from video to video, just probably watching different guys. His name is Prince Hanan 144K Jacob. Like I said, I don't know if he's a part of Great Millstone or if he's just one of them guys that, that just hops on different comment boards, gives his opinion, because you got those also. But he told his sister, when you fast, keep it between you and the Lord and meditate in something. I can't really read it that well. Like I said, I took a picture of it. It didn't come out that great. But what I wanted to say, as far as that's concerned, the sister, she even said on the comment board that she gave the testimony of her fasting in a dream. This was after, and that's what I thought about. She wasn't doing or making the lesson while she was fasting. She said it was months ago when she had it. She was just sharing it, and when I read his comment, I was like, well, this brother doesn't really understand what's going on, because the point of the not letting men know that you're fasting is when you're actually in the fast itself, not afterwards. Because if that was the case, then why didn't Peter curse out Cornelius in Acts the 10th chapter? This is Acts chapter 10. And this is Cornelius telling of what took place when an angel came to him. He said, and Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting. See, this is 4 days ago until this hour. And at the ninth hour I prayed in my house, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing. So if it's a crime to tell somebody that you were fasting, after the fact, then Peter would have came back and corrected him. But this was something that he did afterwards. When he had the fast afterwards, he explained that he was fasting, and then this vision appeared to him. So this is what the sister was saying. So like I said, I don't know if this individual is part of Great Millstone. He was just giving his opinion on what he's read, in the scriptures about the fasting part, or if he's just one of them comment board hoppers and just from camp to camp, or whatever the case may be. And this is what happens when you constantly bouncing from camp to camp. You're not stable. So there's nothing wrong with if you go on a fast a week ago and then you tell somebody a week ago I went on a fast and doing, and this and such happened. Just like we're reading about Cornelius. And I'm pretty sure there's other scriptures in here that tell of it, but that's just one that I found that I wanted to bring out just to cover that. Now, as far as the word martyr is concerned, the word martyr does not mean someone that gets put to death for teaching the word of the Lord. I know that's the consensus. I know that's what they say. You know, they speak about people suffering martyrdom and this, that, and the other, but the word martyr does not mean someone put to death. The word martyr simply means witness. All right? Even when you go to the etymology online, which I was trying to go to the blue letter, but like I said, my sources are limited right now, so Lord's will I can go and do a little more in-depth lesson on that because I feel that that's important. But when you go, what I did was I took a still of the etymology online of the word martyr. So it says, one who bears testimony to faith, especially one who willingly suffers death rather than surrender his or her religious faith. Specifically, one of the Christians who in former times were put to death because they would not renounce their beliefs. Late Old English martyr from late Latin martyr, source also of Old French martyr, Spanish martyr, Italian martyre, etc. From Doric Greek martyr, earlier martyrs, genitive martyros, in Christian use martyr, literally witness. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to go into the blue letter, and I wanted to look up the word witness, to see where it used the same word, because there's a scripture in in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, which we're going to read about, that uses the word martyr. And I wanted to use that. Let me see something. Just bear with me 1 second. That's why, because it's okay. Just bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, beautiful. Let's see if this comes up here. Right. Now, before I read this, my goodness, what the fuck, man? Satan jumping on everything, god damn. I like it. Just trying to have a little fun to stop from, going nuts. So, all right, so let's read that in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, and the I might jump up a couple of verses real quick. Revelation 2, I'll just go straight to the point. Revelation 2 and 13. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days when Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. See, so pretty much this particular individual, Antipas, he was a martyr, meaning he was a witness, and he was slain. So you have martyr as far as a witness in general, but you also have the idea and thought that they use as someone that's martyred, meaning that they put to death, but that's not what it means. It means witness. It basically means witness, as we read in the etymology online. Now, I had this one scripture that I was going to get, but let me just go there real quick to Revelation chapter 2, and like I said, bear with me. 2 and 13, and it says, I know, I'll just go straight to the point where it says martyr, right? The word martyr, well, it doesn't really say too much. Well, it says martyr, martus, right? It says a witness, or figuratively, generally by analogy, a martyr, record or record, witness, record. So pretty much a martyr is a witness. Then when we go to the book of St. John, the 5th chapter, right, and the 31st verse, which we're going to get here, just bear with me 1 second. It says, I bear witness of myself, my witness is, if I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. So this is Yahweh Shai speaking. And when we look up the word witness, it goes to the Greek word martyreo, which is an offshoot of the word martyr or martyr. It says to be a witness, that is testify, literally or figuratively, charge, give evidence, bear record, have, obtain of, good, honest, report, be well reported of, testify, give, have testimony, be, bear, give, obtain, witness. So it basically means witness. So the word martyr doesn't mean being put to death. You know, the word martyr simply means witness. And like I said, if the Spirit allows, I could do another lesson on it where we can go a little more in depth, you know, on the PC, because, you know, my sources here are a little limited. But just to deal with the sister's question, you're going to have those that will die in the faith. But what did the Apostle Paul say concerning that? You know, and that could be the case where the sister may get put to death for the truth, or it could just mean something else. You know, it all depends on the Spirit. But if the case be, anyone that dies in the faith is going to come right back once Yahweh Shai appears. And this is the point right here. 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. See? So anyone that died in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. Why is that? Two precepts that come to mind. One being in the book of Isaiah, and the other one being in the book of Revelation. Let me get the one in Revelation first, Revelation 11:18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't it. It was the 14th chapter. My bad. 14th chapter, and I believe it's the 18th verse. Or is it the 11th verse? Nope. The 13th verse. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from hence forth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And that's why they will be delivered, or they will be raised back up, because their works do follow them. When we read Isaiah 57:1, it says, The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. You know, so some individuals, men or women, children, that get taken out before this whole situation goes down, the Lord can have mercy upon them, because maybe they might not be able to handle the things that are coming. You know, such as the case of certain older brothers. You know, the Spirit might have them go back into the spirit world, you know, but not in every case. Because remember, you had, what was his name? Eleazar, I believe it was, the old man. I believe he was like 90 years old, something like that. And they tried to make him eat pork, and he didn't want to eat it. And they told him that they'll give him some lawful meat. Just act like you eating it. And he said, nah, fuck that. You know, he suffered death for the truth, you know. So pretty much, you know, God damn, boy. Anyway, let's read that again. The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. That's right. It says, and shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. And guess what? They'll be the very first ones to be raised up out of the spirit. Lord willing, I make video for my actions I got out of order for sure. But nah, brother. Look, if you're sincere, brother, don't worry about it. You know, you didn't know. You know, but that's the purpose of, you know, these correction videos. You know, as far as, you know, making sure that brothers, you know what's going on. And like I said, I don't know if the brothers with Great Millstone, if he's just one of those brothers that hop from camp to camp, watching the different videos and gets confused. But the point is that when you're fasting, while you're on the fast, you don't tell nobody, you know, because that's between you and Yahweh Bashem El Shai. But afterwards, you know, especially if it's something spiritual, you could talk about it, as the case is with Cornelius, that he did speak about it. He said, look, I was fasting 4 days ago, and the angel appeared to me, so on and so forth, you know. So that was what it was for, brother. It's not. This truth is not to destroy anybody, but you have to understand our stance and our point of view and where we're coming from, because you do have individuals out there that think they know it all, and they're going to give their opinion or whatever the case may be based off what they think they understand, and that's all it is, brother. So don't take it that way. Yo, you addressed it. You don't have to make no video on it. You address it. It's cool, beautiful, so now we know for sure that the brother is not a scoffer, that he was sincere in what he said to the sister, and he really believed that. That's why he said that. And now that we have it cleared up, now let's move on. All right, now let's go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven." Because when we read up a little bit above that, in the 13th verse, it says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep." What does that mean? Meaning those that are dead, they're in the spirit world. Their bodies are in the ground, and they're back in the spirit world. So let me take the time, because I'm on a time schedule. It says, "Concerning them which are asleep." See, what are the ones that are asleep? The ones that died in the Lord. "That you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." Because others have no hope, because there's other people out here that are going to be destroyed. Now you have men and women that have died in the faith, and their spirits are in the spirit world praying to the Lord, "How long are you going to, won't you avenge us?" They're coming right back, and they're going to be the first ones to go up into the chariots. It says, "For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him." See? So who's the ones that are sleeping in Yahushua? The ones that are in the graves. "And you will have a certain amount of men and women, children, that will be put to death for this truth, for the glorification of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, but they will be the first ones to taste of the salvation into the chariots." How beautiful is that? It says, "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first." See? "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Because it's comforting. I mean, it's sometimes certain things are hard to swallow. The scriptures speak about woes and lamentations. But it speaks about the bitter. Sometimes it's a little hard to swallow. Remember, when Yahushua was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he wasn't jumping up and down for joy that he had to go on the cross. He was in an agony, man. He was in such an agony that that he was sorrowful. He was very heavy. It said that he was sweating blood and sweat, and he said that he was exceeding heavy. Exceedingly heavy. He was very feeling very oppressed at that time. I don't think there's any camps out there in Long Island. The camps are in New York, but you could, for the time being, you could just watch. If the spirit leads you to a camp, so be it. But Jake boy, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." So because the things that are coming could get hard. They're gonna get hard. And it's hard to swallow, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, we have the understanding of what's going to go on, why it's going to go on, and the reward afterwards for the faithful. See? Making it that much easier to swallow. That's why it says, "Comfort you one another with these words," because if any brother or sister or child in the Lord dies on this side, they're going to come right back. They'll be the first ones to go up into the chariot. And that's the salvation in the chariots. And from that point, go to the kingdom, and then the rest is history. The rest is history. So that was pretty much the main point. I wanted to address. The word martyr does not mean being put to death for the Lord. The word martyr simply means witness. You look up the word witness, it's going to give you another word that the root word goes back to the word martyr, which means witness. It basically means witness. It doesn't mean being put to death. That's just a connotation or a definition that's been put to it because the witnesses of Yahushai were put to death for what they witnessed, but the word martyr does not mean being put to death. It just means witness. It's just like, even to this day, when we think of a sellout, the first thing that comes to mind is Uncle Tom. And the Uncle Tom was a good guy. He's not a bad guy, but every time we think about a sellout or somebody that sells his nation out, we quickly call him an Uncle Tom. Why? Because that's something that we've been programmed over the years to say. Instead of saying that Sambo was really the bad guy and Uncle Tom is really the good guy. Just like today people use the term vulgar, meaning that they think this means something that's despicable, and it doesn't. The word vulgar simply means, public, the people thing, but the people still use it as the terminology of being something despicable, so it's hard sometimes to get rid of certain definitions because we've been used to saying them for so long that you can't just turn it off like a light switch. So instead of calling somebody an Uncle Tom, you should call him a Sambo or a sellout. But people are gonna continue to say Uncle Tom because that's just the norm. Just like people are gonna still use the word vulgar to mean something despicable. Just like the word martyr is still gonna be used as someone put to death when all it means is the word witness. And when you look up the word witness, it's gonna go back to that word martyr. Because that's what it means. If I bear witness of somebody doing something or saying something, then I'm a martyr because I witnessed what they said. And it just so happens that the martyrs of the Lord that they call so-called Christians were put to death for the things that they witnessed. You see, just like Stephen, it speaks about Stephen, being a witness and being put to death for that witness. I may just close it out with that real quick. 144. It was just 144 watching. Just bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me just type it in. Right, it says Acts 22 and 20. It says, and when the blood of the martyr Stephen was shed, see, the blood of the witness Stephen was shed, I also was standing by and consenting unto his death, and kept the raiment of them that slew him. And it says, this is Revelation 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai, meaning the blood of the witnesses of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So I mean, when you read that and you think about the old definition, of course it's easy to what's the word I'm looking for? It's easy to mix that up and thinking that the word martyr means someone put to death, but it's not. It just simply means witness. So time of Jacob's trouble is coming. The elect are straight. The ones that die in the Lord will be the first ones to go up into the chariots. They'll be at peace. Their works do follow them, and they'll be all right. They'll be fine. So hopefully that was answered the sister's question, gave her some type of comfort, and if the case be that that's what's got to go down, hey, that's what's got to go down. As long as we hurry up and get out of here, that's the main focus. So with that, I pray that you brothers have been edified. Till the next time I say shalom.